Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good week in the market. It is February 7th. We're going to review February 6th, Friday's price action. Thanks for being here. We're going to look at SPY and 0-day options today on small account challenge I have going on. A lot of volatility we've had, and Friday didn't disappoint. Big range, kind of a grind up. Kind of ugly. Let's see. Yeah, here's the 30-minute chart. This is Eric's. He's SPY day trading on YouTube. Link for his Discord's in the description. So we had that move on Thursday. Friday gapped up and just stayed in this buying channel slowly. Broke the steeper one into the green and then broke that one, but actually broke out of this magenta here. If you see this, this was the reason I wanted to go long, but it was just such a grind. It was hard to get an entry. Yeah, so kind of just had to be patient on that. But yeah, I came up, kind of retested it a little bit, and yeah, what do you know? I was looking for end of day to have a move and retest the top of that green, and it did get very close. Yeah, the end of day move was crazy. Let's review purple. That was my bullish controlled selling channel initially. Gray was my aggressive buying. This gold was, I think to me that's just a less aggressive buying channel or algorithm. I'm not sure. Eric did mention channel the other day, and he made a note of it. How he said channel, not algorithm. I'm thinking I'm not quite sure actually, but I'm thinking he's. I don't know why actually. I don't know why he's calling some a channel and some an algorithm. Because if it's buying up in a channel, I would presume that's still being programmed by an algo or as an algo. So I don't know. I call them all channels or algos, whatever. To me, it's a little presumptuous to call them algorithms because I don't think we really know. It's kind of a presumption. So anyways, but if you draw lines and it can help you manage your risk and know when to open and close, then sure, great. That's kind of what I'm doing and learning from Eric and others. Anyways, gold. And we had what, 5 day? Yeah, here's 5 days gold. This gold line, this one up here is a 20-day. So this was a retest on 5 day. I think it was down here when and here I can actually look at his, because mine, it does that weird thing, which is kind of annoying. I don't know how to change that. If you guys know how to change that on ThinkerSwim, let me know. Just does a steady bar as opposed to his Eric's 1 minute. This is on TradingView, but you see how his is intraday showing where it's at. So mine, it just stays a bar the whole time. So like right here, when it was here, yes, this was here, but as the day progressed and that bar just moved up and didn't show where it was at that moment anymore. If that makes any sense. So this came up and retested, basically opening 5 day print and got close to it there. I wasn't looking at Eric's chart though, but yeah. So I considered, could have taken a short here on the break of this gold. Little shoulder here with a head. Little aggressive. I mean, Ivy was still high. Yeah, I was trying to be slow. It's been a pretty red week for me, so just trying to be very cautious with my trades, especially being a Friday too. So charted this one, charted this green, which was just a less aggressive selling. I don't know if that one showed up again. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. So it broke this gold. I didn't have this white quite yet. Yeah, I didn't have the white until here, I think. Yeah, this is where I got that white right there, which did end up being legit. And so this gold, look at this wedge right here. Look at this thing. First trade was, the time's all messed up, isn't it? I hate when I review the next day. It's, or maybe this is right. 10:13. Yeah, all right. I think they fixed it. 10:13 right here. I didn't have this gold line at that point. Okay, yep. A little impatient, I guess, on this one. So came up, again, it broke that. I missed that, which was fine. I didn't have white yet. I had gold, though, and it broke gold. I gotta turn that music down just a touch. Sorry, some tracks are a little bit louder. Broke the gold, and so I guess I didn't have a lower channel, so just kind of going for potentially for low of day. Anyways, had a nice little shoulder here. Came up, retested one of my purples. Didn't retest the very top one, but just I saw a nice head and shoulder here, and it had already broken gold, and this was actually, yeah, that's right. This is retesting gold, and that's retesting gold. That gave me some confidence to enter here, but it was just still in a wedge. Where did I get? I got in here, so it did go a little bit green. I wasn't looking for that. I maybe had white at that point after I entered. I don't know. But I was looking for more. Look at that. Yeah, I didn't have white. Anyways, 157 I entered. I closed it out at 142. Small loss. Closed it out in the next minute. Was it on this one? I mean, these are still big candles. 684 1, 685 2. Yeah, that's over a point, just that candle. So I don't know exactly why I closed it right there. Maybe I had another line drawn. Anyways, first trade, little red. Oh, no, sorry. I didn't close it there. I bought another one. Yes, this. Remember, I'm like trying to scale up, and I shouldn't when the IV's higher. I already don't like it when it's higher IV. So, and I was kind of trying to do like fewer trades. So if they're larger, I can only do fewer. Or I'm doing fewer ones. It is a problem. Bought one for 157. Bought the next one for 142. So I got a really nice fill on the next one. It was a limit order, I remember, and that was on this little wick right there. I maybe had it selling in green for my risk. Potentially, but that's pretty wide. Yeah, it did go a little green. I stopped out at 114. Yeah, this was nastiness. Yep, on this candle. This one broke. It was green. I wasn't planning. Didn't think I was gonna have to hold it up through that. It came down here, did this bounce, and I didn't have purple. I don't think then. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, all right, where's my stop? Like, I guess I gotta hold it till green. And this looked a little promising. It wicked up there. I'm like, okay, it's just trying to shake people out. And this thing comes up here and holds. I'm like, oh. So I stopped on this candle with just a little retrace. Awful stop though. That was 157, 142 opens, and then I closed for 114. So right there, since I sized up and the IV's higher, that's past my max loss in the day. So that's one problem with having a max loss so low at the scale I'm doing, as well as trying to scale up and the IV's high. It doesn't work. But with that, there's going to be greater returns. So if that trade worked, you know, it wouldn't have been a $30 trade. It would have been, you know, 7,500, whatever would have been probably, because, yeah. So that got me. I was not happy. And yeah, next one was at 10:48. I did take a pretty long. I stepped away for a bit. I guess it doesn't seem like that long, but it did. 10:48 was a bit. I think I was being pretty careful at this point. Oh yeah, this one. So came up. I had gold. I think I had just put white in there. Yep. And then this was 5-day. This was a sick trade actually. Let me see if that was actually 5-day on Eric's. Yeah. Here's Eric's 1 minute chart. Yep, it's literally right at 5-day. So you can just like short it at 5-day and then just have that as your stop. I'd rather have structure and strategy and all that other stuff. So he kind of had, he actually didn't really have what I had there. He has this gold and then that magenta, but let's see. I guess his gold is like the same as my gold. No, mine's different because mine was catching all these supports on the way up. His magenta is like my white though. So they're very similar. So I got an ugly fill on this though. It hit this and it's almost always like right when I'm just putting in lines, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's right here. This is the inflection point. This is the point to enter. And I think I just put in this white or something. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's been finding that as resistance. Here's the support. It breaks it. This is also 5-day. I'm like, I should jump in for a zombie or a retracement trade for a handle on this cup. Yeah, so, but as soon as I was thinking that, this candle goes, like, this is a big candle too, 688, 607. Oh, okay, yeah, it's almost a point. Big candle. I got a bad fill on it. I was like, I gotta get in here, which I'm happy I did, because that was, after that trade was so nasty. In fact, I was able to get in on that one with some confidence. I think my stop at that point was probably this green one right here. Yeah. So it was pretty far away. Oh man, yeah. But usually it doesn't, in a trade like this, because I'm not necessarily thinking about it, sometimes I just have to kind of get in, and then if my stop is too far away and it starts to go against me, I can always jump out before that stop, I suppose. But the way this candle was, the way it rejected 5-day, I was actually even, I think I was thinking 5 days my stop, even though this candle's large and I'd be like a point away. Yikes. It worked out. I guess this was a little risky with my entry being so late. Yeah. Well, that shows you why my exit was so quick too. So I got it for 98 cents, sold it for 137. So it's a pretty nice little return. Put me back under my max loss for the day. So I was like, phew, I never saw that other number. Never saw it. I'm back under, which I kind of was trying to get. 1048 to 1050, middle 1050. We're kind of on this candle. I think I put gold in here just for this. I'm like, I'm not sure if that's anything yet. I don't really like 2 touch points. Then I put it down here potentially, but I don't know if gold, yeah, I don't know if gold was anything actually. Not sure. Maybe it was. But anyways, it was a nice, pretty big candle. I'm like, I just need to cut it. So cut it there. Of course, it went down to VWAP. It actually went up quite a bit more from here because I cut it like somewhere in the middle of this candle. Of course, I would have liked VWAP. I had white at that point. I think. Hey, is that why I closed it? Maybe I closed it on white. I don't know if I actually had white then. I maybe didn't have. I can't remember. Breaking gold is definitely one thing. I'm trying to think if I had white or not. I'm not sure, but that actually would have been right on white, so that would have been a perfect exit. But I feel like it wasn't quite to my exit. Can't remember. Anyways, that brought me back up a little bit, enough to give me like, okay, that's fine. Next one was at the break even, very minimal risk, 17 cents, 208 to 222. So big break there, as you can see. I was below my max loss. I was just happy, content to be there. And you know, I really did consider actually going long here. Like, should I flip that quick? Like, sometimes it makes sense. I was like, I could wait until it makes purple. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I was looking for at that point. I knew this could be a handle for this cub. I was like, where's my risk? Yeah, I don't think I could define my risk. Yeah, maybe in hindsight there's just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could have been a VWAP, like stop on VWAP, open on VWAP. And I really did consider it here, and I'm like, just got out of that trade and to just flip really quick like that. It is a challenge. 208 was a break even to 222. Wow, held that one for a while. 208. So just grind it up here. So glad I didn't try and mess with any of this. Continued to grind, even started to taper. I drew this one actually later. Unfortunately, I didn't see this sooner. I wish I did. 202. Yeah, I remember this one. So this was actually a nice little trade. This was just kind of a lotto, I guess, but it was going to be a break-even stop. In case it wanted to retrace back down to VWAP or down here for end of day. And I did see it building liquidity with these gold, which is actually bullish. But, you know, it could still retrace bigger since it never really built ahead on any of this. So anyways, I got it right. I got that pretty early, huh? Yeah, I should have done this review yesterday. Maybe it was on this resistance even. No, I think it was for this one. I just got it kind of early. Right, what did I say, 202? No, okay, no, it was 208. That makes more sense. Okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah, I got on this candle, so not quite as bad. It was starting to show resistance on here. I'm like, all right, that'll be my stop. Gold or break even. So it did. It went a little bit green. Again, this was out of the money. It was 17 cents, but could have easily went 100% if it was like down here or more. But it wasn't one I was trying to like scalp, because when it was down here, it was up maybe 30%, but that was monetarily, it was nothing. So yeah, if I want a large amount, but I didn't want to do that with such a cheap contract, and just in kind of a chop. So it was a bit of a risk, and that's why I was further out of the money and just, anyway, stop me out at, I think on this candle probably. Yeah, on that candle, stop me out, break even. I was like, should I go long here? I'm like, no, let me see what's going on. I think that's when I charted this blue. I'm like, okay, makes sense. And then 231 to 237 in What is this? Call. I got 2 contracts here. I did go long. Come on. Maybe I had it. No, I think I did chart it actually. Yeah, I had this charted, but I still wanted this trade to the top of that range. So basically it broke here. I had an inverse head and shoulder. Not a big, like I'm hoping that all this liquidity becomes a shoulder for a bigger head, which maybe there wasn't enough time today or this day, but breaks here, you know, potentially could come down and retest this, which of course it potentially did and pushed it all the way to the limit with this. So this would have been an ideal entry, retesting that, as well as it already breaking this and retesting this simultaneously. Of course, I don't know if it's going to do that, but when it is kind of a midday area, you always got to just be way more patient for it to build and do its thing. So anyways, I was in it 220, 208, I did that one, 231. Yeah. Got like a limit order somewhere in here. I got 2 of them. Yeah, it's limit order on this candle. I think I got 2 actually. Yeah, I bought 2 for 32 cents, sold them out for 27. Small loss at 37 right here. I didn't want to hold it. I think maybe gold. I was saying if it breaks this gold, I'm not going to hold it. Yeah, that's what it was. Closed below the gold. I stopped out just in case it did want to come down here and retest. I just missed this entry. I literally thought, all right, I should just jump on calls here. Yeah, it was all right though. I try not to overtrade. But yeah, I did actually then. I had it charted right. I had the, yeah. Well, doesn't feel bad. The fact that I was able to see it and whatever. 320, 321. I bought contracts, 52 cents and then 44 cents for calls. Oh yeah. Yes, I remember this. So, breaking up out of this blue. And remember on the 30-minute, I'm still kind of looking for the long because it's broken out of the magenta. And it's kind of finding that support. So at some point, I'm expecting it to potentially move up. 320. Yeah, so this was the breakout with the volume. So, but it just wasn't buying this orange yet. I got it here. Yeah, I got 1 on that candle, which I think was pretty nasty slippage. Yeah, that was 52 cents, and I averaged in for 44 cents at 321 right here. Then it kind of hangs out above here. I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's fine. And it starts to do this. I'm like, oh. And I was wanting to give it a little bit of headroom because potentially it could, you know. I'm like, all right, I'll give it this as a stop. This is kind of horizontal level, and it did a big wick down in there. I don't know if that's where, did I stop out right there? Oh, I reduced my position for 45 cents. So tiny loss at 328. Yeah, I just wanted to size down. Yep. So as it started to chop here above here, I actually sized down right here. I'd had a limit order. So basically break even on this one. Just move myself down to 1. And then close out the next one the next minute for 35 cents, for 10 cents less, so quite a bit less. Yeah, right here. And then it's just fatigue. I don't know. It takes a lot of focus, and you don't want to be trading if you're not like 100% focused and ready for crazy moves to happen. But at the same time, you can't expect it. So it did that, and I guess the fact that it kind of broke back in here, I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, I put this in here right after this started to happen, showing it building liquidity on gold because it was working out. Like it happened here, it broke it, I retested it. But then it was just buying up in this gold. So I guess I think I had an alert on this gold if it breaks out of this thing. Because I knew it broke this, but it was kind of, looked like it was buying up maybe in this one. But I wanted at least to break that. Anyways, broke here at, yeah. And then I kind of wasn't paying attention. Wasn't even planning on taking another trade. And I was like, it's a red day. Basically max loss red day, which is fine. And then it broke there. And then it broke that one, which is kind of what I was waiting for. And I'm like, oh, do I have to chase this? This is 20-day right here too. Which of course is a resistance. Then on this chart, I'm like, there's a long way up to get to that top of that green. And we're like right here. Like, do we do that right now? So I actually put a marker up here. It was an alert. It was like right here. Yeah, like just hit it, which it was actually shy of that green line a little bit. Came up here, did this. It's like, then I'm like, well, it's close to the 10-minute move. Do I get in it right here? This is kind of crazy. Like, you know what? I should, and just use gold for my risk. And so I did. I actually jumped in right there. It was a bit of a lotto. This late in the day, like, and getting it, it was a chase. It was a chase. I had tight risk management with gold, though. There was, you know, I had all those reasons for why I should go long. I just missed the entry right here. So I kind of waited. I think I got a little bit of I did limit order it. So a little bit of a pullback, 344. So yeah, I was like pretty early on this candle. I put it in here. It filled me on this one. Oh, wait, was this one? Yeah, I chased this one so bad. I think that was this one. I think I put a limit order in here. No, when was that actually? One of these moves I chased, and then I think maybe I just end up canceling it. Maybe it was one of these. Maybe it was this one. I like kept upping. I don't know why. I didn't want a market order. I wanted to be more of a nit. That's a poker thing. But yeah, kind of just a nit. Maybe that's a bad word. I don't know. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna chase it that bad. I'm gonna put a limit order. Like, you can come to my price. And then it just kept like double. Oh, that was some other time this day. Maybe that was here. That was here. Maybe I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, put the limit order in there. Got filled, and I'm like, all right, gold. We'll just do that, and it comes up even from right here, 690 to 54, 691. So I was half a point. My strike was 691, so I was in the money. Or no, I wasn't. I was just out of the money. Let's see. It was half a point from the money. So yeah, it had some premiums. 29 cents. Rallied up here. I'm like, all right, we're coming up to the 5 minute or the 10-minute move. Like, I don't think this thing's gonna go all the way. I mean, even if it does, I'm up pretty good on this contract, I think. I'm not looking at the P&L, but like, yeah, it did a pretty good move. So I just dump it. I had such a late entry, I dumped it on this one. Got a nice slippage. Then it kind of consolidated a little bit. Came down. This probably would have stopped me out regardless. And this was right before the 10-minute move, so I probably would have jumped out. So I think I got probably the best X I could have for having one contract. Granted, it would have been great if I entered here on the break. Or potentially even here, breaking above that gold. Because that's, I think, just 20-day and all the other reasons why I was a bit fatigued. You gotta protect your brain tank. Brain tank. You know, it only has so much capacity. So yeah, stoked though I caught that one. That actually was super nice that worked out for ending the week off and kind of a rough week. So that contract actually doubled right here. Well, not quite. 28 cents to 47 cents. And then up to here, it went to $1.47. So could have been a very green day if I held through the 10-minute. But again, it was a lotto, and yeah, I was happy I didn't fumble back in. Here are the trades. Those ones I just went through with you, if you want to take a look. And there we are. It is a red day, but not too bad. Down 39, so not max red. First trade, I was down 73. I was like, oh, I can't believe I did that. And then the next trade, I was down, I think 39. So just spun my wheels a bit again after that second trade. I guess if I just stayed there, I would have been and waited a while. I don't know. Maybe I would have caught that, but hard to know. There weren't many trades I was like, no, I shouldn't have taken that one. I guess it's like once I've charted, then I see I shouldn't have. So maybe I need to do more charting before I enter, like make sure, like in this case, it's breaking here. I don't have a less aggressive, like a tapering. Well, no, actually I did, because I was still wanting to take it. So this one I would just have to be patient. Say like, all right, you know what, if it's not going to come down here, I'm not going to take it. If it doesn't retest here, I'm not going to take it. Because this is literally in the middle of the channel, but I guess this big candle, maybe that gets to me. Hard to know. Like, gets to me, I see it breaking. I don't have patience to hold it till here. I wasn't thinking this was gonna be my stop. I was thinking, well, this definitely if it breaks back down in here, but then I put this in here and I'm like, that's my stop. So anyways, have a good weekend, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We'll see you on Monday. Hopefully the IV's a little lower. All right, peace out.